Nothing like an early morning start.
Morning, Michelle.
Morning.
We're in Bradford. Emergency survey again. These lads have been let down with somebody to mark out grid lines and four corners of the building a cricket square all-weather thing jobby. So we do quite a lot with people who build pictures. They've got 2D machine control on here. It's not ours, but we have dealt with them with other stuff before. So yeah, we got a PDF with some dimensions yesterday, so change that into a CAD drawing. We'll mark it out to the OS coordinates we've been given, see if it fits. If not, we might have to shift it a bit, but it shouldn't take long really. And we are using the hybrid. Yeah, Charlie's just got back from Australia, so he's loving coming from summer in Byron Bay to winter in Bradford. Not a great deal of difference. Not as many crocodiles.
Yeah, no snakes, no spiders.
Yeah, well, there might be some.
Yeah, there's Greggs. That's one positive of England over Australia.
Yeah, apparently the Greggs at the end of our road opens at 5:30. But the one in Bradford doesn't, which is disappointing. So we've got site control for when we need to come back, if they need us to mark out for bolt boxes or out like that, and then just see how the design fits really first. So because we are using GPS, when we create the job, we put the coordinate system and projection on it. Is the GPS on? Have I turned it on? Yep, that's on. So we'll stick that up to 2 meters. We're not really bothered for height with this, but if you can, you might as well. So set it to connect up. We are set up to connect in hybrid mode. Press counts, yeah, hybrid mode, so it'll connect to both the GPS and the robotic, both Bluetooths, and then connect up to the network, start getting corrections, and I'll try and find the USB stick with the drawing on.
It's not already preloaded.
No, I'm trying to show you how awesome I am. So we've got one of the greatest inventions ever, dual-ended USB stick, so you can take it off your phone and put it on here. So exchange from file, multiple AutoCAD DWG, which is what the file is, select file units in meters. We can import it as background or live. We always put it in the background and then we can bring stuff live, turn the drawings on and off, have a bit of fun, meters, yeah. So we're on the USB stick, take that, 30 lines, 6 layers. This is just what I kind of created to make it easy to set out. Select the used layers. If you've got a drawing with loads, you don't have to bring them all in. Layers here already exists because it does as a default, so I'll just give it a CAD prefix, and there we are. So we can go in here, see where we turn the drawings on and off, but we can also put our bitting hybrid on.
I've never used this before.
Have you not?
No.
Just puts your background drawing on to make sure we are in the right county.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's not much use while you're setting out because it kind of gets in the way, but it just gives you that little bit of confidence. I've also used that to find where the site is when I've just been given coordinates. So you can put your ordnance survey coordinates in there and it'll actually just show you where you're going, which is very helpful. It's nice being in the right place. Set up now. To set up, the instrument's already on. Knock it into GPS mode, go to status. We have a fixed position. Always best to make sure you've got a fixed position before you start doing your resection, especially if you're around loads of trees and stuff, because it's annoying. So point this in the direction where we're going to go to start with. The geometry of the resection is more important for the hybrid setup. You want a good 90 degrees just to get you set. This sets you to national grid, so whenever we come back, if all the control's gone, we're still going to be somewhere like. So knock it into total station mode, resection. I always call these temporary stations Z1, 2, 3, because then it goes to the bottom of my points list, well out the way. Put it on prism, fine, point guide on, lock it on. So I don't have to go and mark out and then go back and do the resection on it. It just does it at the same time. But I think what I forgot to do was point it in the direction of this total station before I did it. So yeah, it's got guide lights on it. So as you move it round, you can see you've got a red and green light. Green's one side, red's the other. And basically when the lights change, you know it's looking at you. And then you can lock it on. Once we've done the setup, it'll just find it with a GPS and it's instant really. We call it Z1A, so I know it's referenced to this setup. Record that, flicks the GPS, records that, and we're away. So the next one will be Z1B. Once I'm on the prism, it tracks me. So I just need kind of 90 degrees here just to set the total station up. Basically, we're going to have to do the setup and then shift the design to fit, but it's not worked on two for some reason. It might be that we're too close. I have to cut this bit out, Michelle. It's fucked. So what we do now is we blame somebody else because it was on simulator mode for the software. Very professional. Nothing ever goes wrong. But that's why we got here early, because if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And if that's all that goes wrong, I'm happy. So now we are connected to the N-trip caster, so we're actually getting GPS corrections instead of not.
Okay, good start.
So now, let's pretend that didn't happen. So the status is again fixed. Resection, Z1 next, Z1A. Let's make sure I've not got any of these points in here. No, we haven't. So the pole height is 2 meters. We don't need that really, but record that. Let's wake this up, spin it round again, lock it on. Are you sure it's not Monday today? This really proves how much of a fantastic engineer and surveyor I am. Nobody watches these videos, do they? So if I go on the map, I just need to turn off the layers we don't want, because I just need to mark the extents and see how we fit. So if we go down here, we'll turn that layer off, that layer off, that layer off, and the grid off. And we've got that. So if I pick that line now, I can now quickly stake line work, and number of segments 1, include transitions, stake. And now this will stake us out the corners, and because I'm in hybrid, I can just flick it to GPS because it's a bit easier. It's not as accurate, but it's a bit easier.
Put that flag down like you do in a touchdown.
Michelle, it's not called a touchdown. It's called a try, and he never scores any.
Right.
Do you want me just to square it up to that wall?
Yeah, it means this end's just coming out this way a bit more, is it?
No, we'd square it up so that end would go in a bit. This end's 1 point, because it wants 1.5 off that wall with the dimensions. So that was 1.7. Yeah, we can offset it, yeah. Then you've got that, yeah. You just,
That'll be square with the wall then, won't it?
yeah, that's fine, because if it's slightly out, it's just going to look weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's your main feature.
That's
so,
the only thing to go off, is that wall.
yeah, so we'll do that, and then we'll mark these out again,
Will
and then put your grid lines in,
Yeah.
and go with that. Right,
Yeah.
cool. I just want to shoot these stickers out first before I forget.
Biggest question, Charlie, is are you actually
Recording.
I am.
What did you say this morning that I told you? And I'd forgotten I told you.
Time spent in reconnaissance is not time wasted.
Yeah. I say that to my boss when he used to catch me walking around site after I've been for a sandwich at sandwich shop. So we just got a few stickers up here, just in case we need to come back. Always put in more than you need. Right, so this is the clever bit. So this drawing doesn't align to what we need it to. So if I edit points, put a string line in this. So this is the line of where the wall is. Turn the background drawing off just so we can see it. So that's the line of the wall, and that's the line, the blue line's the line that we're setting out, really, the extents, and it's not parallel. So we're just going to shift the whole background drawing. So if I pick that line and go create, offset line work, the guy wants it to the right, 1.7, create, close. You see how it's not quite parallel to the blue line? I don't need that blue line anymore, so I'm going to delete that. So then if I pick that line, I'm going to create a point on each end of it. Create points, end points, and we'll just call WAL1. This is the new points on the new line. So the background drawing is skew width to that line.
Right, okay.
That's a technical term, skew width.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I go edit, background, this is awesome when you're setting plots out. You can just have one plot diagram and just shift it around the whole drawing.
So you don't have to, you're not creating a new line.
No, I'm just moving my background
shifting it.
drawing.
Right.
I've offset from the line I've surveyed,
Yeah.
and then I'm just going to shift this drawing. So if I go transform, by matching line, next,
Wow. I
pick
didn't
the
realise
line.
you could do this.
Every day is a school day.
Every day's a school day.
So if I pick that top line there,
Yeah.
that's the direction of the line. And then I pick that point. I can go off the list if I want. Save. Now it's aligned.
Wow. So no messing around on CAD.
Now we did the CAD. You don't have to do the CAD. It's just easier to do it when you're warm,
Yeah.
rather than having to come out of sight and offset lines and what have you. So that's it, yeah. So I marked out the corners so I could see where on the wall I was,
Yeah.
because they're not bothered that way. It's just, it's got to look right on site. And it were 120 mil different at each end, which would have just looked stupid, especially if they're paving it. So we just squared that up, and now we set, there's controls right, there's drawings shifted, but it don't matter because if we come back, we'll back this up and we just use the same information. We can even export that background drawing if we need to. So now we shall go and reset out these flags so they're in the right place, and then we'll do the grid lines and offsets for him. Job done.
Can we put some big pegs in these corners now?
Yeah, they're bang on then, mate, yeah. I was just going to drill and put nails in for you. It's up to you unless you want to put pins in there. That's the kind of job we like. I love my drill as well.
On the back seat.
Drill them if you can go for it.
No, I don't love it that much. This is my Wild Wild West holder for quick setting out. Matching.
I like it.
Do you know why I took the orange ones? Because nobody else wants them. I don't know. People like red and blue, don't they? We're now marking grid lines. Not a specific kind of offset, because these lads, I wasn't going to drill it and use my drill. I love using my drill, but I don't love it enough to make myself extra work. So the control I put in for when we come back and float the bolts, we don't need, because they don't need to float the bolts. It's almost a play tent, really. So what we can do here is I've just gone stake line on it, but if I go stake line work instead, then I can put it to real-time stake out and put an offset of, is it 7 metres this way, or is it 6 metres this way? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bays, so it's 7 metres, it's 42 metres, yeah, that's right, cool. Are they all like this, your jobs?
What, this is?
Yeah. All the grid spacings are the same, so I don't even have to work. We're going to put offsets in for each one, but it's just every 7 metres this way and every 6 metres the other way. No, I'll teach you how to do it for your kids. It's how to teach them the times table. I'm not doing it on video though because it's a trade secret.